but I remain committed to the United Kingdom leaving.
Since I became Prime Minister, I've said we must get on and get Brexit done on October the 31st so that this country can move on.
Sir, my amendment is that Mr. President should be invited to come and explain the situation.
For the Nigerian government to stop killing its people and
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what they blow.
I have fought very firmly.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
We anchor the facts. A long-form in-depth reportage, breaking news and in-depth interviews on a wide spectrum of topics. From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. On ATN.
This is the news on Atlantic Television Network. First, the headlines. Cotonou Court decides on Sunday Igboho's extradition order. Gun male key 4 policemen in checkpoint attack in Enugu State. Residents of 4 communities in Andoni local government area of Rivers State appeal for police presence. Authorities in Mali open investigation into knife attack on President Gota. Many thanks for joining us on ATM News. A court hearing over the extradition of embattled Yoruba Nation agitator Sunday Igboho by the Belnice Authority is holding today. Igboho spokesperson Olayomi Koiki revealed this in a live update. The court hearing scheduled for Wednesday failed to hold as the Yoruba activist was not brought to the court for the hearing by the Belnice authorities. Igboho, who is currently in the custody of the police in Cotonou, was arrested on Monday night while attempting to fly to Germany with his wife. Senate Minority Leader Eyinaya Baribe says he will stand shorty for the detained leader of the indigenous people Biafra Nnamdi Kanu, again given the same circumstances. Speaking during an interview, the senator explained he stood shorty for Kanu when the IPOB leader was arraigned because it was a condition imposed by the court. According to him, the court ordered that one of the shorty must be a senator, and as the chairman of the Southeast Senators Caucus, then he had to offer himself as a shorty. He said given the circumstances, he would not hesitate to stand as shorty for Kanu again. At least 4 policemen were killed when gunmen attacked a checkpoint in Obeugbu Amechi community in South local government area of Enugu State on Wednesday night. Though the casualty figures remain unclear, residents told journalists that they've counted 4 bodies of slain policemen after the attack. At least 2 passersby, including a pastor and a member of the neighborhood watch, were also attacked during the lunch, which took the police by surprise. A police patrol van was set ablaze by the gunmen during the attack. Enugu Police Command confirmed the attack but said it would present the casualty figures later. And now to Abia State, where the government has announced a further realization of the prevailing curfew in the state. An announcement by the secretary to the state government, Chris Ezimem, said Governor Okezie Ikpeazu approved the measure following marked improvements in the security situation of the state. It said in Aba, Umuahia, Ohafia, Bende, Umwanochi and Arochukwu local government areas, the curfew is now 12 midnight to 6 a.m. daily. The state government thanked the people of the state for their cooperation and advised them to remain vigilant and report any suspicious activity to the relevant security agents. And I will take you to Oyo State, where the state governor Sheyi Makinde has insisted that federal security operative must henceforth inform state before carrying out any covert operation. The governor was reacting to the recent crisis that rocked Iganga and its environs in Ibaripa local government of the state. Some operative of the Nigeria Customs Service had arrested suspected smugglers in the community, leading to a face-off between operatives and the residents who mistook the operatives for headsmen and resisted the arrest. The incident led to the death of the coordinator of Amateku in Ibarapa Central Zone and two other people. Makinde threatened to withhold the weapon seized from the operatives who invaded the community until he gets the attention of the federal government. He spoke while addressing some Muslims serving in his administration. during the Salah visit. The condition of Akpajo Bridge along the Ogoni axis of the east-west in Eleme, Rivers State has not improved even after some work was done on it. Following series of protests by both residents and road users, the people of the area have insisted on a complete reconstruction of the bridge, stressing that its dilapidating state has resulted in countless accidents and traffic holdup in the area. Speaking with ATN, residents in the area stressed the need for government to come to their aid.
It's very, very bad. One truck entered the water with 2 containers because of how the bridge is shaking. It remains small to collapse. So they can come and walk it before people will die.
Because this road don't cause many accidents. Even if you get one time where 2 trailers fall inside here.
So what did they supposed to do? They supposed to walk the bridge, you understand? Because this road now don't they swear away. As they pass that road, they worry also.
I want God to touch them to walk on the bridge.
Meanwhile, the Eleme Local Government Council Chairman, Obali Romete Olo, after he was sworn over a month ago, had issued a 14-day ultimatum to the Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs and the federal government to commence work on the collapsed bridge. He threatened to shut down the road completely if the ultimatum is not adhered to by the minister. Obari Yomete lamented that the countless visits and inspection of the said bridge by Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Godswin Akpabio, have yielded no positive results.
Element local governments. Between now and 14 days, if federal government does not commence work on this road, we will shut down this place. Element who have been neglected. Senator Godswin Akpabio, you came here a few months ago and you are playing gimmicks with our people. Yes. You told them that you do a construct flyover, the road will commence, and you are playing politics with the Eleme people. This is the last time. We will not take this rubbish anymore.
Other development, hundreds of Iboterium, Ajakaja, Daima, and Samaga community members in Andoni local government area of Rivers State who fled their homes due to court-related crises since 2019 are calling on the federal government and state governments to deploy more security agencies to forestall any breakdown of law and order in the area. Some members of the affected communities told ATN they want police stations built in the various communities. The affected members of Iboterium narrated their experience during the crisis.
No be small, they shoot gun, no be small. Everywhere, they break house, they burn house. Nothing, they kill person. Suffer where we there inside there. No be small thing. We suffer, we hungry. Many people cry, many people, some have things lost, finish. So now we rent peace to reign for our community and everywhere.
I'm fully happy and I will eulogize the chairman that really fight to restore back the former glory we have in our community.
I feel very excited for the first time after 2 years being displaced from my home, occasioned by insecurity. I am so excited to see my community again.
The paramount ruler of Iboterium community, Eze Festus Silas Ogbulu, and leaders of other communities expressed pleasure over their return back to their homes.
We praise the local government chairman with his effort for bringing us now back home. So we are now grateful and thanking him so much for the effort he's now making.
I feel so glad because the effort of the chairman of local government, Andoni. We feel so good. We are seeing ourselves, some of our face, some of ourselves, that we come back home very peacefully. We are happy. And we, the people, that live in the area are so much happy and even pray for him to live long.
But now we are back to this community. In Dema, we are in.
Meanwhile, the local government council chairman, Erastus Awotu, while cautioning youth to shun violence and embrace peace, said Iboterium community will no longer be a safe haven for cultists. He appealed to the community leaders to always report anyone seen compromising the peace and unity of the community.
But beyond that, even as we speak now, even as we're doing that, if we get information of anyone that breaks in or comes to rob, whether you're a member of this cult who is discussing with us, whether you're the one we are discussing with, the security agencies will deal with you the way they are supposed to deal with you. We won't tolerate those kind of attitude. In fact, the period of criminality, condoning criminality under guise of cultism is over.
Hundreds of Iboterium community dwellers in Andoni local government area of Rivers State who fled their home due to court-related crisis since 2019 are now back home. They are calling on the federal government and the state government to beef up security in order to forestall any breakdown of law and order. Femi Ogunkiledi, ATN, Port Harcourt.
In another story, the trial involving the publisher of Sahara Reporters, Omoyele Sowore, and Olawale Bakari has suffered a setback at the Federal High Court in Abuja. The presiding judge, Justice Ijoma Ojukwu, has been transferred to Calabar and has informed the Chief Justice, Justice Sosho, that although she would continue with other cases, she would no longer preside over Sowore's case. This implies that the case marked will have to start afresh for the second time. This is just as two other judges have refused to take up Sowore's case due to its sensitive nature. The Department of State Service had arraigned Sowore and Bakari before Justice Ojukwu for treasonable felony for organizing the Revolution Now protest on August 5th, 2019, which the government saw as an attempt to disrupt peace in the country. You are now watching the news on Atlantic Television Network. Still ahead, China kicks as a World Health Organization begins second study into COVID-19 origin. Details shortly. Welcome back. This is Atlantic Television News. Once again, our major stories. Cotonou Court decides on Sunday Igboho's extradition order. Gunmen kill 4 policemen in checkpoint attack in Enugu State. Residents of 4 communities in Andoni local government area of Rivers State appeal for police presence. A senior Chinese health officer says China cannot accept the World Health Organization's plan for the second phase of a study into the origin of COVID-19. Zheng Zijin, the Vice Minister of National Health Commission, said he is shocked by the call for further look into the pandemic origin and specifically the theory that the virus might have leaked from the Chinese lab. But he dismissed the lab leak theory as a rumor that runs counter to the common sense and science. The search for origin of the virus has become a diplomatic issue that has worsened China's relation with the U.S. and many other of its allies. The U.S. and others say China has not been transparent about what happened in the early days of the pandemic. China accuses critics of politicizing an issue that should be left to scientists. Elsewhere in the United States, President Joe Biden has consciously outlined a timeline for when he expects the COVID-19 vaccine to be offered to children under 12 years in the U.S. President Biden said the decision will be led by scientific data, but added that he expects a rollout to begin between the end of August and October. Meanwhile, a White House official and a staff member for Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi of California, have tested positive for COVID-19. According to officials, both the staffers who are experiencing mild symptoms were vaccinated. While the vaccine does not completely protect a person from transmitting COVID-19, it does decrease the severity of symptoms if the person were to contract the virus. Still in the U.S., hospital officials in Northeast Florida are urging people to get vaccinated as the number of COVID-19 patients is approaching or exceeding levels they saw during the worst of the pandemic. Amid rampant spread, the more transmissible Delta variant of the coronavirus. Mali has opened investigation into attempted knife attack on interim leader Assimi Goïta inside a mosque during Eid al-Adha festival. Prosecutor Boharam Karibar Conte said an inquiry being opened to shed light on this event. Colonel Goïta had said he was doing very well and downplayed the significance of the assault. Police made arrests at the Grand Mosque where the leader was attending the Muslim ceremony when animals are slaughtered to celebrate Prophet Ibrahim's sacrifice. And in business, the Senate has asked the Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, to identify and sanction his officers who were allegedly responsible for over $274 million which Nigeria lost on external loans transaction. The Red Chamber took the decision while considering the report of the Senate Public Accounts Committee presented by panel's chairman, Senator Matthew Uhogidi. The query was contained in the 2015 Auditor General for the Federation report on the financial statement of the federal government of the Nigeria and the Federation accounts. The Senate specifically asked Idris to identify the officers responsible and sanction them for allegedly mismanaging a public fund in accordance with the Rule 2115 of the Financial Regulation for Gross Misconduct. The show director of the Olympics opening ceremony, Kentaro Kobashi, has been dismissed 1 day before the event is due to be held. Footage of Kobashi from the 90s recently emerged in which he seems to be making jokes about the Holocaust. Japan's Olympic chef Seiko Hashimoto said the video ridiculed painful facts of history. The dismissal is the latest in the string of scandals to hit the games. Australia and New Zealand have pulled out from the Rugby League World Cup over the player welfare and safety concerns related to COVID-19. The men's, women's and wheelchair events are scheduled to take place in England this autumn. The Australian Rugby League Commission and New Zealand Rugby League have asked organisers if it can be rescheduled for 2022. New Zealand Rugby League Chief Greg Peters said it was simply too unsafe to take part. And that's the news for now. Before we go, another look at the major stories. We told you a court in Cotonou is deciding on Sunday Igbo's extradition order. And gunmen have killed 4 policemen in checkpoint attack in Enugu State. Residents of 4 communities in Andoni local government area of Rivers State have appealed for police presence. The authorities in Mali have opened investigation into knife attack on President Goïta. And thanks for joining us. I am Flora Duke. You can follow us on our social media handles, Facebook and on YouTube. It's Atlantic Television Network. On Instagram, it's Atlantic TV Network. Many thanks for being there. Have a wonderful day.
We anchor the facts. A home for in-depth reportage, breaking news and in-depth interviews on a wide spectrum of topics. From the line across the ocean, to the land beyond the mountains. Through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis,